best ever performance yesterday, got second on the grid is his reward. Can he get another podium here today? Connor Tagg, second in the championship for the 450s, and also a great result yesterday for Michael Clifford, fourth on the grid.
Yes, fantastic stuff, and ready to be unleashed. Green flag at the back, red flag at the front. Sid says watch the lights and goes walkabout, and some very eager young riders out there on the Nitro Moto 450s. And as Steve said, Buff Supermonos with their own championship. You can see number 5, the former European Supermono champion there, Mark Laws, just having to slot into 6th place as the Aprilia Moto 450s buzzing around his ears, and down they run. Look at this lovely start.
Yeah, great start for championship leader Ben Gautry, and James Folkard slots into 2nd place ahead of Connor Tagg. And then Danny Murphy, terrible start for young Asa Webb. He got swallowed up at the start and then into turn 1. I think he's way back in about 9th or 10th place. But at the front of this now, James Folkard from Liverpool, sponsored by Menards Pavlo. He can't win the championship, but he's going to look like a sturdy competitor when we enter the 2011 season. But all eyes on 25 Ben Gautry. Realistically, he only needs to finish this race to be crowned the champion.
Yeah, it's one of those great tricks, isn't it, to finish first. First you have to finish, and he's got to stay on board. There's Connor Tagg, number 100, Danny Murphy, all lining up ahead of Ben Gautry there, and there Ivan Porter. Ivan, his wife, I think, just gave birth to his first child, a son, I think, only about, well, it's early this week, wasn't it? Monday or so.
It was, yeah. He's a father, and he'll be looking at as a big reward to try and wrap up the Supermono title. Not really sure what's happened to Mark Laws toward the end of the season, but he's really tailed off, and it's just he's looked a little bit jaded on the machine. Maybe he's lost a bit of confidence, but the championship certainly looking like it's going towards number 4, Ivan Porter there. Don't forget another Supermono competitor with us this weekend, Lex van Dijk from Holland.
Yes, splendid name, and I tell you what, splendid collection of bikes apparently he has as well. He's got a very nice stable apparently.
You see there number 18 Nick Beer going through, and he's eligible for 2 classes. Look at the lead at the moment. James Folkard in the Moto 450 class here on his Aprilia. Well, he's a good 4 or 5 seconds clear of the pack at the moment. Connor Tagg in 2nd place. Ben Gautry falling through the field. I'm not sure if he's got a problem, Robin.
Yep, I don't know whether it was, well, certainly, I have to say, yes, it sounded like a bag of spanners going past there. And there we see young Ben, and it doesn't. It sounds like it's misfiring or something. So Ben Gautry, well, of all the races for it to do it, he's not had a problem all year with that. And of all the races, now is not the time. Connor Tagg in 2nd place. Connor, remember, has got to win this race to have any chance of winning the championship. So James Folkard leading is not part of Connor's plan, unless, of course, anything should happen to James. Well, here he is, James Folkard up front, and look at the daylight behind him. This is a lovely lead. There's Connor Tagg, still working hard in 2nd place, and there Michael Clifford up into 3rd. This is the best run I think we've seen from Michael Clifford in 2010.
Well, yeah, he got his best result yesterday. Oh, and there's a faller there into, is that, yeah, it's Jonathan Good that's gone down into Craner Curves.
Well, famous Craner claims another victim. You can see by the grass, he's not the first one to have gone down there. Look at that, sliding across, just the front wheel tucks under, and good to see that he is well away from that machine.
Well, track temperature's cold here. It may have the sun out, but it's cold, but it's not hampered. James Folkard, another fine victory in the 450 class for Folkard from Liverpool. He celebrates across the line.
Yeah, fantastic win for him.
Where's Ben Gautry, though? Could he wrap up this title? Is he going to finish?
Well, he needs to finish certainly in the top 10. And, well, we've seen Lex van Dijk cross in 4th place overall, and he wins the Supermonos. And, yes, I think there, Ben Gautry crossing in 8th place, which should be enough for the championship. But James Folkard wins the Moto 450s from Connor Tagg, and an excellent 3rd to Michael Clifford. And on the podium, joining James, Connor and Michael, is the 2010 champion, Ben Gautry. Supermoto, Lex van racing dream. It's the Nitro Moto 450s and Buff Super Monos. Steve's on the grid.
Number 25, the 2010 champion. He can relax now. Ben, relax for this race. Here he goes into the next one. Connor Tagg, second overall in the championship. Still waiting on second on the grid. Not sure why we're missing second place, but Michael Clifford is over there as well. Asa Webb was the man that was supposed to be here. There's Danny Murphy. Oh, yeah, giving himself a good cheer. Robin, over to you.
Thanks very much, Steve. Yes, attrition has got up the works as well. One or two bikes binned in other races, so a slightly thinner grid this time, but it's not going to make it any the less competitive. These youngsters get down to it. Ben Gautry there, the 2010 Moto 450 champion.
Yeah, Asa, sorry, Robin, but Asa Webb there apparently has injured himself in the GP2 race earlier, so hopefully he's all well. He was in hospital, so I understand he's recovering okay, but a great ride from this weekend, and hope to see him on the grid again next season in the 450s.
Yeah, for sure. Putting in the last events of the season some of his best ever performances, not just in qualifying but in racing. So yes, quite right. We wish him well. But, James Folkard is running up the hill, away, being tailed there by Ben Gautry.
Sea of Aprilia 450s then here in the 450 class. Folkard from Gautry, from Murphy. At the front there we see number 19 Blake Walls, who's having a good weekend and makes up a place. There's a oil patch just there, or cement dust down for an oil spillage earlier.
Yeah, just being thrown up just on line there, but I think it's not too bad in terms of being slippery. But Folkard and Gautry under braking, chased by Danny Murphy as they run into Goddard's. And there, once again, Michael Clifford running in 5th place, really having a very strong weekend, Michael.
He is, yeah. He's just got himself up ahead of Blake Walls. Connor Tagg there, number 100, spraying out, trying to look up the inside of Danny Murphy, who's having a better race this time around. And Liam Shelcock's decided that he wants to be a part of the Aprilia 450 action. He's just put in a good lap, number 30 there. But at the front, it is Folkard from Gautry, from Danny Murphy, and Murphy's going to have a little look. No, he's not.
Yes, there's a few of these youngsters, just illustrates how far some of them have to travel for their racing. Liam Shelcock down from Oban up in west coast of Scotland, and Michael Clifford, I think, all the way up from Cornwall. So good few miles covered simply to get to the race circuits.
Yeah, there is, yeah. Ben Gautry from Southport. I know it's not quite as much of a trek for him here, but certainly when we travel to the likes of Brands Hatch, etc., they all have to travel around. Of course, Folkard from Liverpool, Connor Tagg from Reading, so plenty of travelling going on. But further down, there's the Super Mono action. Martin Jarvis, Andrew Driver, Nick Beer, and Robbie Robson as well.
Yes, their grid really has shrunk for this race. They've had one or two mechanical mishaps, but...
Look at this, Danny Murphy's up in the lead now, so Danny Murphy, number 23, who was looking like one of the pre-season favourites, and if it wasn't for some inconsistency, maybe it'd have been up there towards the end of the year. It looks like he's going to secure 3rd overall in the championship, but this is a great show from Danny, just ahead of Folkard.
Yeah, Michael Clifford up into 3rd place. This is another good run for the rider at number 3 there.
Ben Gautry's fallen back a little bit. I just wonder whether he's experiencing the same problem that he had in race 1 there.
Well, yes, as he said, his bike's been absolutely brilliant all season. It's just taken this last meeting for it to go a bit silly on him. Thankfully, it hasn't ruined his chances of winning the championship. But look at this battle at the front. Danny Murphy leading it, but under pressure from James Folkard now.
What the 450s has done this year, though, is proved that you can jump off a Super Teen machine and onto a 450 with relative ease and still have some great fun at the front, because they've been lapping very quickly. And Michael Clifford now up to 2nd, having a look up the inside of Danny Murphy, looking for that 1st ever win. But a lot of ex-Super Teens have been doing really well since making the jump onto the 450s.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Connor Tagg, see the 3 at the front were away with it just a lap or so ago, but Connor Tagg, number 100's getting his face in there as well. Murphy, Folkard, Clifford and Tagg then.
That's Gautry, so Gautry's still in it just, so he's managed to find a bit more pace all of a sudden. But great stuff at the front here. Danny Murphy leads from James Folkard, then Clifford.
Well, these riders, it's amazing stuff, and it has to be pointed out once again, although we've got a bit of the late afternoon sunlight bathing the circuit there, the temperatures have dropped dramatically, and they weren't that high to begin with. So grip, real problem towards the end of this day.
Yeah, it's a real problem. It's very slippery out there at the best of times at Donington Park, as we saw Blake Walls just go through. But Danny Murphy got a few bike lengths over the rest of the pack now in front. He's not had a win since Cadwell Park back in May. So he'd love to get a victory here ahead of James Folkard.
Yep. Oh, just stay off the curbs, Danny boy. And comes round, sees the checker flag wielded by Sid there, and yes, he'll have that. Yes, how thoroughly enjoyable that is, he says. Danny Murphy then takes the win from James Folkard. Connor Tagg crossing in third. Michael Clifford right up there in close order. Missed out the podium, but another good ride from young Michael. So there, a confirmation. Danny Murphy, James Folkard, Connor Tagg, the 1, 2, 3. Michael Clifford, Blake Walls and Liam Shelcock for 5th and 6th.